All right, hey Gemini. So you guys, I am doing it's a read and this is to help remove the conscious and subconscious blocks. um, to help us kind of accelerate the path of love, whether it's self-love or developing and healing connections with family members or friendships. All right, you're gonna know this is your read by your energy and how you feel about love overall. So if that doesn't resonate, check those other placements, you guys. These have been wonderful reads. They do get a little bit dark, a little bit damp. So just kind of a forewarning. They can be pretty heavy, okay? So as far as your current energy, we have the Four of Coins coming through. And this right here, as it shows up in reverse, I feel like, I'm sorry, the six of coins. But what I was going to say was, it comes up in reverse. So that's going to be a feeling of lack of balance. As far as me representing it as the Four of Coins, I almost wanted to say somebody's kind of protecting that heart space too, not really wanting to share themselves, especially if they've had less than a fair shake when it comes to the love dynamic. We also have the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands kind of showing up in reverse. It's almost like we're trying not to give up on it. We're trying not to hold out. It's this imbalance that's coming. It's this imbalance that's kind of showing up here. We also have the Knight of Swords coming through, and the Knight of Swords is representing itself as burnt out, impulsive, kind of unfocused, and restless type of energy. And this is your energy. So what I'm kind of feeling is a lot more heavier and maybe even more negative, just as it sits in your energy. It doesn't mean that you're dealing with that when it comes to love. It could be in business. It could be in the family dynamic. It could be with your work. I feel a lot of it too is just you're trying to have patience. You're trying to hold out. But you're really just kind of not sure where things are sitting with you when it comes to life. I don't feel like it's negative energy more so than it is imbalanced and heavy. I just feel like you're dealing with a lot and sadness. To me, sadness, imbalance, an unequal situation is kind of what's hovering over you right now. So with that being said, let's just see how it is you feel about love. How do you feel? Something could have ended too recently, abruptly, suddenly. So when it comes to love, how you feel about love, we have the Ace of Wands. This sure is showing up in a lot of people's reads in this manner. And the Ace of Wands, it continues to show up in reverse. That's kind of a fear. It's kind of like, to me, it's like your fire. It feels like it might be burning out a little bit, Gemini. With the Moon card, it's like I don't really know how to feel. I feel like everything is kind of dark in your energy right now, and you just really don't know how to take it. You don't know how to feel about it. Death coming through just tells me that you are aware that a transformation needs to take place, but it's almost like, how can I get to that point? And what this read is going to show us, you guys, is the conscious and subconscious blocks that are preventing us from achieving and receiving happiness. Okay. So in the way that I've kind of learned, and this isn't going to be for everybody, but the way I've kind of learned to channel through negative energy and do some of my own healing, keep in mind we have the full moon coming through, which is very favorable for release. Okay. And that's where you're going to want to write your letters, pen to paper, and let the universe kind of fill your spirit. All right. And it's forgiving people for being whatever it was they were, and forgiving yourself for holding on to that pain, and then turning around and kind of countering that with areas that you maybe haven't been so pleasant. So it's like a whole scale. So let's see what the most prominent energy is. Your conscious, what you are aware of that you need to kind of let go. This is in your awareness. So you may or may not resonate with all of these cards. I just seen separation coming through at the bottom of the deck. So some of you guys could be going through a separation. And it's not that you're releasing the connection. It's not that you're giving up on it, but you know that in order to kind of move forward or change the dynamic, you do have to kind of release the negative energies. We have give your relationship a chance, okay? So some of that heavier energy could be because something has disintegrated. Okay. So right here with give your relationship a chance, what I would suggest is kind of thinking about all relationships. These could go back, all right, to certain times where maybe you're dealing with something right now where this person's not giving you too much of a chance, and it's not karma catching up with you, but maybe in the past you've dealt with situations and it might seem like it's a repeat of something of the past, whether it's you that done something in the past or it kind of seems like everybody just gives up on you. That mindset in itself is something that needs to be changed, because when we're projecting, this always happens to me. Guess what? It always happens to you, right? So when we change the way we're thinking about that is I deserve the best. I deserve fulfillment. I deserve happiness. I deserve people who want to be there for me. And that's kind of how you would change that mindset. And if you're right now, you're in your conscious block, this could be you. It could be that you've been somebody that's given up way too easy at the first sign of a red flag, at the first sign of an argument or heat. It's time to dip out. And it could be too that this is becoming prominent. All right. So we got give your relationship a chance, and you're going to know how that floats with you. Heart to heart conversation. So here again, this is tying in. One thing that I've kind of witnessed or have bore witness to in people and their relationships is a lot of people avoid the heart to heart conversations. A lot of people will avoid having the deep conversations. As simple as I don't want to be with somebody anymore, and it's like going ice cold, ignoring them, kind of blocking them out, even ghosting. Instead of really kind of diving into the feelings aspect, we just kind of push them down, hold them in. And this right here could be something that has been derived since childhood. Maybe you weren't close to your mom. Maybe you weren't close to your dad. Maybe, there was just more that you wanted to say to somebody that you never got to say. And it's kind of hitting that mark, right? And really, it's not just going to be the one current relationship aspect that you could be dealing with. It could just be that that it's easier to kind of flee the situation than to get to the nitty gritty. That could be you, and it could be somebody that's done that to you. And what we're doing is we're healing that dynamic. And we also have you deserve love. This is coming through for those of you who have felt like nobody sticks around, nobody gives you a chance. Maybe you've been single for a really long time and you just feel like you don't deserve it. Why me? Why don't I deserve it? And this could be because of something that you've done that you feel guilt over, that you have remorse over. So it's really kind of taken a deep dive. And if you've never done anything wrong to anyone, kind of think about where you sat in childhood, who parented you, who'd you grow up with, who kind of made you feel like you don't deserve the first seat in anybody's life. That's the kind of energy that we're channeling through, and we're turning those positive into negative, because nobody has control over your destiny. Nobody has control over your life like you guys do. All right. So that's the conscious energy. So let's just kind of go through and see what the subconscious is. And this, you could recognize these scenarios that arise. If you don't, this is where I would set an intention in meditation, say a prayer, ask for something to come through as a vision or a sign. That, it's like maybe you resonate with the card or what I'm saying, but you don't know what I'm talking about. That's where we're going to kind of look into that subconscious energy. And it could just be that you are aware of this situations that I'm going to pull up, but you've forgotten about them. Okay. So let me pull some cards. All right. So I'm going to start with this card as far as your subconscious. This is atonement. And what I'm kind of feeling with this card, this is basically like to me, because I am kind of reading these intuitively, to me, it's kind of taken, it's like taking the brutal end of the axe, of the stick, of the sword. This is like having to compensate for everybody else's misdeeds or wrongdoings. To me, this right here is carrying a lot of weight that maybe you didn't even, it's almost like with this energy, I'm almost feeling like somebody is carrying guilt for something that they really didn't do. There's nothing that you could have done. but you're still feeling guilty, like you could have stopped a situation, you could have prevented a situation. And it could be more than one situations. This right here to me, I go right to the Ten of Swords. This is somebody who's been through or endured a lot of painful past, a lot of pain, heavy, heavy pain. And it's like, if I could have done this, maybe this wouldn't have happened. This right here is telling me that you guys, this is not something that you could have prevented, and it's not the weight that you need to be carrying. These burdens right here, I almost feel as a projection of somebody else's actions and behavior. For some reason, you're feeling like you could have, if you would have been there, if you could have done this, if you would have done this or thought this, or you guys understand what I'm saying. But this is whatever it is that you're carrying here. It's almost like you're trying to compensate for something that was completely out of your control. And for every single one of you guys, you're gonna know that it's gonna be a different meaning for you, or several different meanings for you. And that could have been just you, how you grew up through life, carrying the weight of everybody else. We have revenge coming through. Okay. And as far as revenge, this could be somebody that's wanted to act something out on you, or vice versa. All right. So think of the heavier, deeper, darker times in your life that maybe you have pushed down. This right here, this could be something that you are aware of. It could be something from way back in the day, childhood, school. This right here is just something that's been eaten at your subconscious. And I feel in your ego, the ego body, you would remember what is happening here. And it doesn't have to be that you were seeking revenge out on somebody else. It could have been somebody taking revenge, or pulling you in such a way that they thought, this would be the way. And in this revenge right here, this is like something you're looking at that's never, it's never called calmness into your existence. And if this is what somebody's done to you, it's time to take a heavier look at that angle and really try to go through and channel out those negative feelings and emotions from that person. And again, everybody's going to have a different scenario that has played out in your past in such a way that you know why that card is there. And then we have gilded regret coming through. And this is memories. This is memories. And this right here is shoulda, coulda, woulda. The cage of our memories is the most gilded. This is lingering and holding on to crumbs and flashes and hints of ifs and buts. All right. It's the sword. It is a sword that you guys are carrying. And this right here is basically this right here is trapping you guys from even experiencing happiness in the moment, and it's because of the past. All right. And this gilded regret card coming through is I feel like with these cards that are coming through here, it's almost like a huge tie-in. And it could be several scenarios that it's like you're carrying the weight of the world. And in this right here, as a subconscious block, you might not think that this blockage is going to prevent your happiness in all areas of life, but really it will, you guys. It'll affect love, relationships with children, with parents, with brothers, with sisters, with bosses, with coworkers, with money, and how you're able to accumulate and call that in. That is like bearing the weight of everything that's happened in your life. And it's like, for whoever I'm talking to, I almost feel like you don't even, you're not even really thinking that little detail right there could have such an emphasis on everything. All right, so let's see what happens when you kind of start moving through this energy, what your advice is. It's time to that Queen of Swords, man. You got the Queen of Swords, you got the Page of Wands. This right here, you guys, it's time to take action. All right, your advice is it's time to take action. It's time to eliminate and remove all limiting beliefs. It's time to take action and make your life what you know it can be. It's time to take action and be in pursuit of your happiness, removing the false, the false eyes that maybe you've even been looking through. The Page of Wands is all about removing all of that negative energy. And we have the Queen of Swords showing up in reverse. And this is somebody who is cold-hearted. And I almost feel like this is a depiction of you and how you've been on yourself through everything that you've been carrying. And it's time to come out of that. It's time to accept and embrace this warm, positive flow of energy that wants to come through here. There's a lot that needs to be healed that you guys are carrying, that it's almost like this energy doesn't even belong to you, but what could you have done? We can't do the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. You guys, you can't. It doesn't matter how much of a part of your experiences you were. If you didn't have a direct hand in it, it's not your fault, and you shouldn't be carrying all that weight, and it's time to release it. So based off that energy and the release, let's just see where you're going to be sitting at in the next few months, should you decide to take action and start healing what has come out here today. Look at that. You got destiny coming through. You got manifesting your own destiny, creating a more positive and happy reality. The Nine of Coins, which is all about being in pursuit of those the wish fulfillment. And you got the Six of Swords, moving through the darker energy, moving through the murky waters. It's time to see the light that does sit at the end of the tunnel with this energy, you guys. A lot of heavy energy. I didn't actually know I was going to start tearing up on half of these, and lo and behold, these have been pretty heavy. Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. You guys take care.